Now I find myself in an impossible position.
All hail King Aegon!
Are you ready to head back to the chaos of Westeros with Season 2 of House of the Dragon? The first season got the fans divided, and now all must choose who to swear fealty to, the Blacks or the Greens. There is no middle ground, remember?
Our terms are very simple. Renounce the false king and bend the knee to the king, or your house burns.
So, let Dance of the Dragons begin.
Good. To war, then.
I mean to fight this war. And win it.
The first few episodes of the new season are what you'd expect, much like Game of Thrones. It's about setting the stage, getting all the characters in place, and preparing for the major moves to come.
We're going to King's Landing.
Expect plenty of small council meetings, secretive conversations, and characters starting to scheme and plot.
There is more than one way to fight a war.
Isn't it what we all loved about Game of Thrones?
Power is a curious thing, my lord.
I don't know about you, but I am more than thrilled. Now, as the first reviews from the preview screenings are rolling in, we can finally lift the curtain and take a sneak peek at what's brewing in Season 2. Let me tell you, this season doesn't rush into battles. Instead, it deals with the aftermath of Lucerys' death, with Queen Rhaenyra in exile on Dragonstone, and Alicent's kinda creepy son Aegon on the Iron Throne.
Alicent's son sits my throne.
Meanwhile, Alicent is trying to keep him and her other son, Aemond, in check.
This senseless war must end.
Shall never prevail.
Not like this.
Think your kids are a handful? Try managing a couple of power-hungry Targaryens.
Dignity. I want revenge.
She's leaning on her dad, Otto, for support, but even he's struggling to keep the chaos at bay. Both sides are scrambling for allies, setting the stage for the civil war we've all been bracing for.
The great houses will come to our side.
The first episode brings us to the Wall, where Rhaenyra's son Jacaerys asks for the Night's Watch's support. Lord Cregan Stark pledges his men, but has to keep some back to guard against the bigger threat. Yes, you guessed it. Winter is coming. Wow, guys, I am getting chills. Expect plenty of scheming and plotting as characters position themselves for power.
What are we going to do about it?
While not every interaction is gold, the show shines when it focuses on key character moments. And don't worry, the dragons are still there, and you will see even more of them this season.
And no war so bloody as a war between dragons.
At its core, House of the Dragon remains a gripping drama about power and its consequences. The impulsive actions of powerful men lead to chaos, while the more reasonable characters scramble to pick up the pieces.
This kingdom and its people is corrupt because of the Iron Throne.
Just like Game of Thrones did, this season ramps up with jaw-dropping moments that will keep you on the edge of your seat. And yes, there's a sequence at the end of Episode 2 that will leave you breathless. Season 2 expands the world of Westeros, showing the Civil War's impact on ordinary citizens, but keeps the focus on the intense rivalry between the Greens and the Blacks. But when the Dance of the Dragon kicks off, it's a spectacle. And when those dragons spread their wings, it's like Game of Thrones level epicness all over again. All right, now let's talk about the cast of House of the Dragon. They're on fire. Seriously, they're bringing the heat. According to early reviews, two clear standouts of this season are Emma Darcy as Rhaenyra and Tom Glyn Carney as Aegon II. Now, Emma's performance as Rhaenyra is a roller coaster of emotions. You feel her pain, her grief, her anger. It's all there, raw and intense. But she's also trying to keep it together and make the tough decisions as a ruler. I feel her raw emotions just by looking at this picture. It is said that in the first episode, Rhaenyra barely speaks, but the whole spectrum of her emotions is palpable without words. Now that's what I call top-tier acting. Many reviewers agree that Emma will sweep all the possible awards for their portrayal of Rhaenyra, and I'm here for it. And then there's Tom, who joined the cast a bit later in Season 1. Now, as King Aegon II, he's really coming into his own. You will see the internal struggle as he grapples with the weight of the crown. But hey, he also brings some much-needed humor to the show, just like Viserys did in the early days of Game of Thrones. It's a performance that'll surprise you in all the best ways. Those lucky to watch some pre-release episodes were shocked by how much they liked Aegon. Now let's give a quick rundown of the rest of the House of the Dragon cast. Olivia Cooke as Alicent is crushing it. showing us the fierce determination of a mother facing war head-on.
All my life I've endeavored to serve both my house and the realm, and somehow none of it matters.
Matt Smith as Demon brings that same ruthless energy, but he's taking a bit of a backseat this season, though his scenes with Emma Darcy are still mesmerizing.
Do you accept me as your queen and ruler?
It kind of makes sense why Demon isn't around as much considering the book's storyline, but man, no one can bring that rogue prince energy like him.
The realm's only hope is in a leader strong enough to unite it.
Ewan Mitchell as Aemond adds depth to his character, offering viewers more to think about than just his bloodthirsty nature.
My uncle is a challenge I welcome, if he dares face me.
Now there is Fabian Frankel, who deserves credit for making Criston Cole the most hateable character in the series. Seriously, he's nailing the bitter pettiness. Fia Sabin as Helaena Targaryen is getting more time to shine, with her storyline adding chilling parallels to the mix. And Harry Collette as Jacaerys Valerian is breaking hearts by portraying his grief of losing a sibling. These stills alone give me goosebumps and make me tear up. Like mother, like son. Well, it goes without saying that other actors are also delivering powerhouse performances, bringing their A-game to every scene. And last but not least, for all you bookworms out there, fear not. House of the Dragon Season 2 delivers key moments straight from the pages of the books. But I gotta warn you, there are some twists and turns that stray from the source material. However, don't be hasty with criticism, for these deviations are handled with finesse, shining a spotlight on supporting characters and adding layers to the story. And oh boy, there's one particular change that's like a ripple in a pond, setting the stage for some major consequences down the line. It's like playing a Game of Thrones-themed chess where every move counts. In the whirlwind of changes and surprises, House of the Dragon keeps us deeply immersed in the captivating world of ice and fire. It's not Game of Thrones, and let's not make that comparison. House of the Dragon stands on its own, reminding us that there are no true winners in the war.
War is coming, and neither of us may win.
As George Martin wisely said, not all men are meant to dance with dragons. So let's just enjoy this fiery ride.